Peace, club. Think fast. Quick little think fast. Just want to share this aspect of a certain aspect on my growth and what I've been dealing with and how I deal with it and how things always seem to turn out for the better. But dealing with like creativity and confidence blockages. And also like dealing with the aspect of going through shadow work and still, working through that shadow work, so to speak. But I thought about how, I have certain videos out there, in which with doing any and all my videos, like, my higher self always protected me from myself in the essence of like, if there's videos where I was like, just trying to hurry up and run with an idea that necessarily wasn't complete or something of that nature, like the video would always like go wrong, or while I'm talking I would catch one of those strong vibes of forgetting where I was, or just something was always sabotaging until later when I look back at it and I'm like, all right, like the universe was trying to stop me from putting out that bullshit or whatever the case may be. But then I do have videos where I see vibes of like where a little bit of the shadows and aspects will pop up in my video. Because matter of fact, anytime, you'll see like I appear to have like a contradicting little vibe in me, or like if I feel like, I'm saying something and I stop and back, well, no, this, and, I'm going through a shadow moment of like where I may be expressing older way of viewing things and realizing that moment that, oh shit, that little old way of viewing things popped up in this video. Let me correct that right now, you know what I'm saying? But also, long story short, like having to work through that creativity and those confidence blocks, because the only way to do so is to work through, like, it's a balance, because of course I don't want to force myself to like try to make any little video or do anything, but at the same time making sure that that I am taking some type of action and some level to be confident and creative about doing my videos. And that may ask for me to, again, do videos in times of shadow work. And I look back at those videos and, and catch the vibe of like, but I critique myself hard, so it's different, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people watch those videos and back, oh, great information, which again, I have great insight and information in them, but you could just pick up on that vibe of like I have like that little internal battle going on, and what's happening is a old conscious ideal, is trying to battle another one in the middle of the video, but and that's what I'm getting to. So the reason why that happens, because at some point, yeah, I could just completely fall back and just not do a video, but again, there's a thin line between sitting back and doing shadow work and being not confident and creative, because in those moments I've saw where, all right, say for instance I'm going through the shadow work and I fall back for a little second, but then realizing that falling back due to the quote-unquote shadow work has this turned into not being confident or creative about doing a video. So that's kind of why I done fell back as well, so it's like, all right, I gotta step forward and whether I read or or just sit down and meditate, like ask higher self, like what's going on in the ethers, what it is for me to to tap into that I should share on my channel. But just making sure that I am working through those energies and not just falling back fully, because again, it is a balance. You don't want to force anything, like you don't want to try to force your way through it, but at the same time, you have to, in a lot of cases, for the most part, take some kind of action, like again, seeing where in disguise, that so say falling back, in order for the shadow work to kind of, push through, it's like that that uh that has been a disguise for a lack of creativity and confidence at times as well, you know. So just being aware, because another aspect, again, a constant reminder I constantly have to remind myself about is that it's all right to fail. It's all right to have failures, It's all right to fuck up, quote unquote, you know. It's all right to, to slip and fall, like Ashe to Leah Ashe, dust yourself off and try again, you know. Dust yourself off and try again, you know. It's no, because you could either dust yourself off or try again, or you could sit there and be doing nothing because you have paralysis due to being scared of taking any kind of action, you know. Like, oh, well, let me not work through this. And you see how you could close yourself down, because I could be like, oh, well, let me not do no video because people might think this or say this about me, you know what I'm saying? Or, it's like it starts to be surrounded by fear. And you start to talk yourself into a stagnant mode of not creating and not doing anything in the sake of, oh, I just don't want to, say anything messed up during my shadow work. And it's like, nah, at this point, it's actually, running away and being, having a lack of confidence in essence. So for myself, on my journey, just realizing that, having that awareness of, yes, I don't want to push through or force any videos, but I definitely don't want to fall into a place of where, I'm trying to be so decisive on like, oh yeah, let me fall back and not do a video or this and that, but basically just making sure that, I'm not being stagnant, and that I'm constantly, creating and, and going with the flow of like, all right, create a video, and it'll show itself through the response, from others or whatever the case may be, if I forced it or not, Like, and then I get to learn from that experience, like, all right, due to, putting that out there and that being a failure, I realized, all right, I could learn from that failure. I could see, what was I feeling before I did that video in that moment. Starting to see, like, all right, yeah, I was feeling like I, a little bit like I shouldn't do it, whatever. But, you get to, look back at it after you take that step forward. But, just realizing to not have that quote-unquote analysis paralysis, or that paralysis on action, where you just kind of like on some, trying to make it, so perfect, that you're actually not taking action, But just wanted to share that, because again, that is a little tricky place to be in, as far as like, you don't want to be forcing anything, but because, like, again, for myself, I'm dealing with, creativity and confidence vibes, and working on that, where sometimes that chakra, that solar plexus energy, slow down. I have to be aware of that, and as it slow down, again, not looking at it as, oh, well, that's shadow work, so let me just fall back, because low-key is like, nah, shit, you slowing down, you going, and what happens is you get into a habit of, not doing video. Like for myself, I get into a habit of not doing videos and, oh yeah, I'm doing shadow work. And then you start to realize, oh shit, it's been like 5 days or 6. Like, I know it ain't that long of no shadow work. I must have stepped into a place of being, unconfident and lacking the creativity. And my thoughts, that egoic mind just been disguising as, oh yeah, you just, still going through, shadow work. And you could feel, at some points you could feel like how your egoic mind is trying to bullshit you into a certain little position and using spirituality as the excuse in essence, But when I think about what was that vibe, using spirituality as an excuse. Like, oh, I'm not gonna act upon this right now, cause you know I'm just wait, cause the universe is gonna bring everything to me, so I'm not gonna take any action. You know, when it is about taking some kind of action, but you're using spirituality, or should I say the magnetic feminine aspect of spirituality, as an excuse to not use your masculine aspect of your spirituality, you know. So it's like using spirituality as a mental excuse, you know. Got to be aware of those little vibes. But that's basically it, just sharing this aspect, may resonate or shed some light on one of y'all paths. Because again, something told me to just share this. Because at first, again, I was going to be like, nah, something. There's something there with that. But, again, not necessarily pushing forward, but also being aware that, your higher self, or not say higher self, but, your egoic mind could slip into a place of influence and try to talk you into, oh yeah, just rest, and you're just going through shadow work, don't do nothing. But then that could turn into a place of, like, again, deceiving the vibe of trying to keep you from being creative, and the lack of confidence to build the longer you stay in that non-creative state, and it becomes habitual. So just be aware of that before it becomes habitual. Peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Peace.